I'm Blaine Carter, and together we're going to be exploring the what, why, and how of open source technologies. And this is just a quick video on how to configure SQL Developer to work with Git. First up, in SQL Developer, I am using version 4.2.0.17.089. All right, to get started with Git, the first thing you want to do is click on Team. If you have not tried to use Git before, you will see here it will say Connect to Git. I have, so mine just gives me a little Git menu. What I want to do is I want to clone a repository. Here is the Git information. I'm just going to leave the remote name origin1. I will need a repository URL, so I will switch over to my Dynodate repository and grab the URL from here. I like to use SSH. I'll copy that URL. If you'd rather use HTTPS, you can use that, but we will just take that URL, drop it in right here, and I am using a private key file that's already configured, so I will switch to this. If you're on HTTPS and you need a username and password, you can click that up there. I hit next. It goes out and checks. It finds that there is one branch out there, master. That's what I'm going to take, so I will hit next. Now it asks for a location. By default, it's dropping me in my SQL Developer My Work directory, and it pre-populates the clone name. One thing to note here, if you have previously cloned this same repository and instead of doing a pull, you do another clone, it will increment the name and put a Dynodate 1 or 2, but it'll add numbers to here, so it will make multiple clones. So keep an eye out for that if you're going to clone twice. All right, anyway, we are checking out the master branch. I'm going to hit next. I get a nice little summary of what's going on, and I hit finish. Now that we have cloned Dynodate from the remote repository, let's change a file. So we will go in and open a file, and you can see in the directory it cloned the Dynodate repository into my work. I'm going to go down into the core database, Dynodate schema, and open the admin package. One thing to note right up here where it has next to code is history. You can go through and see all of the Git history changes. That's kind of a nice feature. But let's make a change. So I'm just going to throw in a simple carriage return and then save the file. And at this point you have multiple ways to interact with Git. So you could right click in the file, go down to versioning, and you'll see the most common Git functionality at the top, but it gives you a few of the other Git commands here that you can do. Or you can go back into Team, go into Git, and see all of the Git options there. However, one I like to use is if you go all the way down to the bottom and you click on Pending Changes, it opens this nice little window down here that shows us which files we've modified and their status. So this file has been modified but not staged. So let's go ahead and commit this change. First up, of course, you'll want to click on Comments and enter a comment. It's always nice to comment your changes. Added CR. Nice descriptive comment. The next thing we want to do is we'll want to add or stage the change. So we'll hit Add, and it shows us the list of files. We only have the one. We click OK. Now you can see that the status is modified and staged. So we want to commit that change. So we'll come in here and select the file we want to commit. Make sure our comment is in here. And you could skip the first two steps by selecting Commit Non-Staged Files and add your comment here. If you like to do it quickly, it will work either way. Put in your author and committer and hit OK. And now that file has been committed to my local Git repository. It has been removed from my pending changes. However, if once you make a commit, if you want to push it back to the remote repository, we will go into Team. We'll go into Git. Let's make sure we're on the team. Got to select the file, of course. Team Git, and then push. So we want to push our changes back to the remote repository. The remote URL is already filled in. Once again, I'm using a private key file. I'll hit next. It's checking the branches and all of that. We're just doing the master branch. We're good with that. We hit next. We get a summary of the commits that we're going to push. We hit next, and it gives us the summary of the push. Now, since I don't really want to add that carriage return to my remote repository, I'm just going to hit cancel. Otherwise, I'd hit finish, and it would push these changes up to the remote repository. Now, if you've made a change and you decide, yeah, I don't really want that change, you can, of course, go into Git and revert commit. That's what we're looking for. Click on revert commit. Select the commit that I made that I no longer want. I hit OK, and it reverts it back to the original file. So there's a lot more you can do with Git rather than just the basic functionality I've shown, but like I said, the point of this video is just to get Git interfaced with SQL Developer, and from here you can explore all of the functionality that you would like. All right, I hope this video has been useful, and leave a comment below if I've missed something you'd like to see, and like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.